So, in today's video, I would like to talk about storing precious metals. Now, many people who stack precious metals don't actually tell anyone about it. I think that's key and very important, in my opinion. That's where it all begins. Keep it a secret from your friends. Even your extended family shouldn't know. It's really not necessary for anyone to know. No, your loved ones obviously will see that that live in your house will know that you stack precious metals. And now when it comes to family and friends that don't live in your house, they don't really need to know. Stacking precious metals is all about being off the grid, off the radar, off the system. So this is why many people invest in precious metals. You don't really need to tell everyone. Now, I think it's fine if you want to discuss it with your friends, if you find it as an interesting topic and want to discuss it. Now, however, I don't think you need to go into details, tell them how much you have in precious metals or anything like that. I think it's very important to keep that quite confidential since it's a very personal matter. And make sure you don't go around telling people that you have precious metals. So next, we'll dive into what are the best places to store your precious metals. Number one, safes. Now, some people buy a safe and they hide it in the back of their wardrobe, the back of their cupboard, or where else they can find it. And as far as they're concerned, they've done their part by putting all their valuables in it and locking it up, and everything is secure. Now, with a safe like that, if it's not bolted down, someone will eventually find it. Thieves know where to look for these safes, and in other words, they'll find the safe and they'll take the whole thing. Now, the key is don't make it easy for thieves. Always make sure the safe is bolted down, and I know that's pretty self-explanatory, but you would be surprised as how many precious metal stackers don't have their safes bolted down. Number two, use hollow spaces to hide your gold. Take a minute to look around your house and you will discover that it is filled with ingenious hiding spots. Perhaps a false or drop ceiling. They are a great way to keep your gold and silver out of sight and out of reach. How about drywalls if you're planning to install drywall, or if you have, say, removable panels, the extra space behind the drywall can make a great hiding spot. It's just a matter of fact of remembering which wall you used. While it might seem obvious, forgetting where you hid your gold is more common than you think. So that leads us to number three. How about behind large appliances? Now, generally, burglars won't spend time moving your heavy appliances like refrigerators, washing machines, or stoves around while looking for things to steal. Therefore, keeping your gold behind them could be a good idea. Number four, keeping your gold buried in the backyard. Now, you can bury your precious metals in your backyard if you have a garden. However, keep in mind that some criminals use metal detectors during home invasions. Depending on soil conditions, a metal detector can easily find metals that are close to the surface. In fact, some experts say that a bare minimum should be 5 meters deep. Now, you can plant something on top of your hiding place so that you will remember where your gold is. And there's actually a real life story of how a great great grandmother hid $1 million worth of gold somewhere in her backyard and how her grandchildren couldn't find them years later. And that was even with using an excavator. Now this leads us to number five, and you can actually put your silver in the freezer. Yes, you heard that correctly. Your freezer stuffed with the turkey, chicken, bags of peas can serve as a storage option. The idea is that the freezer rarely are robbery targets, and their cold temperatures will have a preservative effect on your precious metals. Number 6. So how about pipes or gardening pots and maybe even fake rocks? If you don't have enough space to install a bulky safe and want to avoid the hustle of destroying your walls, now you can camouflage your gold hiding spot with fake rocks. The fake rock won't draw too much attention if there are plenty of rocks in your yard. Alternatively, you can hide your precious metals in large planting pots if rocks aren't your thing. Now, some pots, of course, can weigh hundreds of kilograms, making them difficult to move, unless, of course, they are smashed. And lastly, that leads us to pipes. Unused gas or water pipes are a great place to hide coins. A time-constrained thief is unlikely to search your entire plumbing or gas pipeline system. Now, of course, the list of hiding spots doesn't end with pipes. You can also consider a chair, perhaps a sofa paddings, air conditioning, a hollow book. You choose the hiding spot that you choose is, of course, what you want and decide what's best for you, of course. So what's the bottom line? I think savings in precious metals might be best stored in a higher end safe. You can install it underground or in a secret place within your home. And it would be much difficult to break into the, like a simple fireproof document safes. So I would avoid those kind of safes. Consider hiding gold in hollow spaces in your house's dry walls, false ceilings, etc. If you don't have enough space in your apartment to install a safe, bury your metals in your backyard, but plant a tree or a bush or something on top of it to mark the hiding place. Of course, we don't want you to forget where you placed your metals out in the backyard. And again, bury them deeper, at least 5 meters deep to fool metal detectors. And now, if neither of the options work for you, some advise hiding your gold and silver in your freezer behind some bags of peas. And finally, as we mentioned at the beginning of this video, don't share too much information on social media about your precious metals collections. If you want to keep your gold savings at home, the less people that know about it, the better. Now, in my opinion, this is arguable, but my saying is this: when it comes to your precious metals, a smart man trusts those he is close with, but a wise man will trust nobody with their precious metals.